Hello, I'm Scary Sibs.
And I am Scary Bro.
We are
the Scary Sibs.
Hello, mortals, and welcome to Scary Sibs.
One element that can add to a horror film's scare factor is realism. And few things are more realistic in a horror film than when it is presented in a format that can suggest it really happened, such is the case with found footage movies.
For those uninitiated, found footage is a subgenre of film, typically horror, that is presented as footage from a video camera, normally suggesting that those behind it vanished and left behind a recording of the horrific incident that took them.
It is one of my favorite horror subgenres and the subject of today's video. Fittingly, this also coincides with a little found footage film of our own. See, I came across this smartphone while I was out for my usual 2:30 a.m. stroll, and we believe it contains video footage of how we died.
Yes, neither one of us can ever remember exactly how that happened, and we believe that this video has the proof. In honor of this, we decided that it would only be fitting to rank the top 7 found footage films as we watch our own found footage film.
7? Why not our usual 10?
Because, brother, it is found footage, supposed to be real life. And real life does not always end at a natural spot. Anyways, here are the top 7 found footage films.
Alright, now how exactly do you play this thing again?
Get in here, do the first entry.
Number 7, VHS. This anthology film features multiple short horror films all in the found footage genre, with the framing story following a team of thieves sent by a mysterious party to steal a VHS tape from an abandoned house. Once inside, they find several videotapes, and playing them reveals one horrifying tale at a time.
So, positives first. Some of the tapes are downright scary, while others are just creepy, but they are all very unique and captivating. I like the film within a film aspect. Now, the negatives here lie in the main storyline of the men in the house. It kind of falls apart, and there are a lot of questions here that remain unanswered. Who hired these guys? Who was the presumed dead man in the house? Why do they all have these tapes? We will never know.
This is a fun idea with truly frightening shorts that is unfortunately dragged down by a weak framing story. But if you love found footage and variety, VHS has you covered.
Okay, I got the camera working, so just hit play.
Okay, so we are currently driving to the Airbnb where we'll be staying at while we investigate the she ghost. Wow, we looked so different. Our skin was so much more healthy looking.
That's because we were alive, brother.
Oh, right, of course. Hey, I also had facial hair. I looked pretty good with the beard.
If you call that ratty clump of hair dangling from your mouth a beard, then sure.
Can't you let me have anything?
No. Anyways, on to number 6. Number 6, Paranormal Activity. A young couple decides to record the strange occurrences that have been happening around their house lately. It starts with simple lights flickering and faint voices at night, but shortly after grows much more sinister and fearsome. Their decision to record this being has only made things worse and expedited a gruesome outcome.
One thing that I think made this movie such a classic was its realism, at least relative to other offerings in the genre. Like the Blair Witch Project, it relied on minimalism and making what you don't see scary. Instead of over-the-top set pieces, the entity does small things like shut doors or turn lights on and off. This definitely makes things seem more real and can add to the fear factor. However, the fact that the husband is actively antagonizing the demon and making things worse while the wife is too passive to actually make him stop can get frustrating.
This movie may have been a bit overhyped upon its release, as it certain element that contributed heavily to a shift in the found footage subgenre.
Number 5, Creep. A videographer named Aaron is contacted by a man named Joseph, who is dying of brain cancer and wants Aaron to film him living his life on a typical day so his yet-to-be-born son can know him. Joseph immediately displays very odd and eccentric behaviors, and the more time the two spend together, the more Aaron gets the impression that Joseph may be more dangerous than he's letting on.
This movie is very realistic in a super off-putting way. It ensues some very subtle creepiness throughout the film. The acting from the main two characters is also phenomenal, adding to the realism. The negatives here are that Aaron is very naive and makes some pretty stupid decisions. Also, they threw in way too many jump scares, and the pacing felt a little odd.
This is a bit of a slower movie and can be hampered by too many fake-out scares and a dumb protagonist. But it's also effectively eerie and highlights the dangers of an obsessive stalker. And with that, I think we ought to check on our own movie again.
Ah, yes, I'm beginning to remember this now. This was our hunt for the Sheet Ghost, a legendary cryptid who must have killed us? I seriously don't remember.
Oh wow, did you really not realize the Sheet Ghost was behind you when you were watching those tapes?
No. Pretty creepy. Also, I feel as though none of those tapes were notable, as I do not even remember watching them.
Well, you shouldn't have been watching them in the first place. Then again, you've never had any respect for anyone's privacy.
Seriously? Like, leave me be?
No, I'd rather torment you endlessly, as is my job as your sibling/afterlife companion.
Oh, yes. I just realized I'm stuck with you for all eternity. Are you sure I'm not in hell already?
No. Let's move on to number 4.
Number 4, Wreck. This Spanish film follows the story of a news team who tags along with the local fire station to answer a call from a woman who is trapped inside of her apartment. Upon arrival, things get pretty weird from the start. The woman in question is very aggressive and non-responsive, and she attacks one of the police officers. While trying to get the injured officer to safety, everyone is told that they must remain in the building and are quarantined there.
This film is very effective at creating a claustrophobic atmosphere, making you feel as trapped as the characters are. It's a truly terrifying prospect being locked in a building with bloodthirsty monsters, while the very people who would normally save you are trying to keep you trapped. Also, compared to its American remake Quarantine, this movie is dripping with frightening atmosphere. However, the middle part of this film can drag a bit, as it's mostly just interviews with the tenants, and the ending reveal of what's really causing the outbreak is... well, I guess it's just a matter of opinion on whether you think it's brilliant or just completely out of left field.
Even with its plot holes and increasingly annoying main characters, this film does a great job accomplishing what it is trying to accomplish.
Number 3, Lake Mungo. This documentary-style film chronicles the story of Alice Palmer, a teenager who tragically drowned in a lake. As her family tries to cope with her loss, they begin to discover secrets she had kept during her life, and discover that while she may be dead, Alice may not have truly left them after all.
The haunting videos and pictures shown throughout the film are very realistic, and the secret life they have built up for Alice is believable and tragic. This movie has very few jump scares or suspense-building scenes, and is very unique in its style. The found footage aspect is not one single camera, but a compilation of films, cell phone footage, interviews, photos, etc. There are a lot of flaws in the film and things that could have been executed better, but still this remains an enjoyable and unique watch.
This movie manages to be both creepy and honestly kind of sad at the same time, as it explores the impact on the family of this tragedy. The fact that it plays out like a real documentary definitely helps in this regard.
Alright, let's watch another scene.
Agreed. remind us again why we didn't lock our doors?
Because, brother, as I recall, you were in your keys are made by Satan phase and wouldn't let me touch one.
Hey, they are literally knives with teeth that let people into your home. If that isn't satanic, I don't know what is. Also, I'm still salty you made me sleep on the floor.
Just preparing you for your final resting place, I guess.
Oh, right. Remember when we had bodies and we had to lie on the floor in this crypt? What was up with that?
Oh, yes. Night number 2.
And apparently we leave the door unlocked again. At this point, I would have just taken the demon key. What? Why were you just standing there like that?
Brother, you know I used to sleepwalk. Must we have this conversation once more?
And he takes you away. I'm kind of surprised we lived as long as we did, honestly.
If I recall correctly, he just had a drink with me in the kitchen and... Oh, yep.
Rather friendly specter, isn't he?
Careful, brother. It is the friendly ones that you have to watch for.
Oh, don't I know it. Anyway, let's proceed with number 2 on the list.
Number 2. As Above, So Below. This film follows a young scholar named Scarlett who is in search of the philosopher's stone. She discovers that the stone is likely in an off-limits area of the catacombs in Paris, and she issues a group of adventure seekers to take her there. While exploring, the group comes across increasingly disturbing and inexplicable things.
This stands as one of my favorite found footage movies because it actively tries to be different. This movie offers up a sort of treasure hunt subplot that adds a layer of, well, fun to the proceedings. Also, unlike other found footage movies, the characters are memorable and distinct, as is the threat they face. This movie may not be perfect, but it is very creative.
Yes, we love this movie and always recommend it to others because it is just flat out a good movie. I think this is one that even could be enjoyed by those who don't typically like horror movies.
And number 1, likely to very little surprise, is The Blair Witch Project. This classic of the genre follows 3 young film students who head into the woods of Maryland to shoot a film on the legendary Blair Witch, a spirit said to lurk in the forest and who is supposedly responsible for several disappearances in the area. Once in the woods, the trio become hopelessly lost, and as events get progressively weirder, it becomes apparent that they're being hunted by someone or something.
As helpless viewers, we watch as their journey unfolds, and they face these unknown horrors. The reason this film works so well is the realism and the mind tricks. It is scary in a subtle and psychological way. Is there something in the woods with them? Or are the 3 just going crazy being lost in the forest? Ignoring the sequels, we don't really know.
While the sequels did kind of mar the lore a bit, taken on its own, this is still a classic of the genre that will make you think twice before going in the woods.
And those were our picks for the top 7 found footage horror movies of all time. And brother, now that we've finished our ranking, what do you say we finish our own video?
Very well, let's see how our own tale ends.
Okay, so we are standing outside of the infamous Sheet House. The house where Sheet Ghost is said to have lived when he was alive. Brother, don't go in yet.
I just want to check it out.
I wanted to do the interview outside first.
And what a dump. What kind of loser lives in here?
Don't say that.
Excuse me, Dusty. Whew. So, what are we looking for exactly?
Anything that would give us insight as to what his life was like when he was alive.
Well, if you ask me, his life was filled with, dead sunflower plants and, cinder blocks.
You know, sometimes you can just be so...
Someone's coming!
Let's hide.
Okay, here's the plan. You're gonna rush him, grab the hammer out of his hand and hit him with it. Wow, I make a run for it.
You are so pathetic. Why don't we both just make a run for it? Go.
Careful, watch out for that rock.
Oh no! Oh no!
Ow!
Brother, are you...
Well, the expected outcome, but not the one I hoped for. Much like the endings of most found footage movies.
So we finally have our answer as to our demise. Oh, if I ever see that sheet ghost again!
Sister, look! Well, look who it is. Here to finish the job, are you? Well, guess what? We're ghosts now, and we can do this! You may have killed us before, but guess what? You're mine now, punk!
Brother? Do ghosts' necks break?
Not typically, no. Shouldn't have, how did he...
Oh, brother. He was a person this whole time. And the owner of the B&B that we stayed at?
Well, that explains how he kept getting in. He did kill us after all, so we were just avenging our deaths, right?
Wait, brother. There's more video.
Really?
That wasn't the end. Brother? Brother, are you okay?
Yeah, I think he just knocked me out.
So much for legendary cryptid. Seems like he was just some loser that can't even kill properly.
Yeah, I know. This whole trip was just a waste of time.
Hey, wanna go candle juggling?
You read my mind. Oh, wait, I forgot something important. When that clown attacked me, my wallet fell out of my pocket.
You're always losing that thing.
I know. I feel like I'd lose my own head if it wasn't glued to my neck. Oh yeah, I remember that now. We did survive that little ordeal, didn't we?
So, killing the sheet ghost is less justified now. He wasn't a killer, just an annoyance.
Yeah, but hey, at the time I believed we were avenging our deaths, and he can't cause any more trouble. So let's just gloss over the fact that I just murdered someone and call this a happy ending. Something that's rare in found footage movies.
And on that delightful note, we will say goodbye now. Did you agree or disagree with our picks? Let us know in the comments below.
Thanks for watching, and we will see you next time, I guess. Until then, I'm Scary Brew.
And I'm Scary Sibs. And we are
The Scary Sibs.
Oh, man, what happened? Am I dead?
It would appear so, Mr. Ghost.
Aw, this is gonna put a damper on my day. Hey, sorry for scaring you guys. I'm just lonely, and that's how I make friends, you know, is by stalking people and scaring the hell out of them.
Well, I wouldn't say that's been a very effective strategy thus far.
Hey, this crypt's big enough. Think I can crash here with you all? Maybe help you haunt the place?
No, get out.